It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the New York Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's all up next.
Not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And with the terrible towels waving wildly, we are underway from Pittsburgh. Well, now how about this return? And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Buckeye, the young rookie QB from Ohio State.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They toss it to Warren. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Howard. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively at 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 29-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And that will be incomplete. Deontay Banks in the right spot there to break it up.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So now here are the Giants as they'll get their first opportunity here. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities. A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
There's a short one caught by Johnson. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Giants are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Howard being chased out left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. They'll start with a run by Tracy. He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
To throw is Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing is Wilson. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. That's pulled in at the 32. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The last series form, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block if you're an offensive lineman. Nice early burst, nice gain too.
2nd and 3. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he's brought down. First catch so far by Pickens. It's good for a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
This a 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Howard. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. New York set to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. As they've got it as we resume action. Here's Howard off the play fake. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to move back in front.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Wilson. Throw out wide is incomplete. Johnson the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. On the give, it's Tracy. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now Wilson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson running left on the option. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, he'd had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Now Austin. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They go play action here on first down.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And here's Freiermuth again.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Howard from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to extend their lead.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's good to make it 17-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Here's Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
Now it's Wilson. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Here's Wilson. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
The offense on third down, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. To throw again is Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. That's caught left side by Neighbors. From the 33, here's 2nd and 6. They'll hand it to Tracy. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Yeah, and on third down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
Gano's kick is good, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. Looking to throw. Howard. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
To throw is Wilson. Throwing to start the drive.
A short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Zone coverage here defensively. They're going to let their tight end run a drag across the field. This is where a linebacker gets forced to pass him off. That time, the receiver gets lost a little bit, and he's able to make the catch and pick up good yardage and a first down.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
From the 31, Wilson. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. On the ground, here comes Tracy, and he will have a Giants first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Wilson. He's got this complete to Robinson. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play there for the Giants. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Wilson.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Gano's kick is good, and that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half.
And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Operating from the gun, Howard.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Pushing through tacklers at the 30.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter.
They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Wilson.
And quickly into the hands of Robinson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Tracy.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long.
He finds his man Johnson.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Looking to throw. Howard. He's got this to Pickens. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Back to throw. Howard. A short one there to Freiermuth. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Howard. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Pat Freiermuth, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Boswell's kick is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And New York set to take the field. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Throwing is Wilson. Left side, he's got Robinson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. On the run is Tracy. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 5. They'll go again with Tracy. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Wilson now off the bootleg. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Wilson. That is caught. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Throw left side complete. That's Robinson. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 20, here's 2nd down and 8. Running left is Tracy. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Again, Wilson steps away to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Gano's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is.
There he goes, left side. He's still on his feet. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf, 69 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. But not only, Charles, did he beat double coverage to make the catch, and then as soon as he did, locked his gaze upfield and made sure to reach the end zone.
Go grab your dictionary, partner. Look up determination, and his picture is going to pop right up. How about him getting through multiple defenders, finding his way through coverage, and making sure he got to the end zone? That's a big-time play right there.
Boswell for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Now Wilson. Buying time to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
2nd down and 3. Now a handoff up the middle. Tracy. And this will be a Giants 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. To throw is Wilson. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They go play action now. Wilson. Got a man, Slayton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Throwing again here, Wilson. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. T.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Tracy trying the right side. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Gano's kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Steelers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2nd down and 8. A toss left side, Johnson. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 40 yards.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense. But on game day, they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is up to 15 now. That time a 6-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Giants offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Wilson running left on the option. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Here's Wilson to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A gain of 22.
Bottom line is that he is just something else as a runner, because there are not many QBs in this league who can rip off a game that big, and he did it with the defense giving him a little extra attention after he hit him on a run earlier this series.
On first down, Tracy. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. From the 23, here's the 2nd down and 6. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
But what they're seeking with an RPO is space for the receiver to make a catch and then make a play downfield, but there wasn't any space available, thus the incompletion.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. They'll try the left side. Tracy. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Gano's kick is good, and they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So it was 4th and 1 down in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little surprised that that's how they decided to play it, that they didn't go for it there. But sometimes just take those 3 points and put them in your pocket. I just have one question for you, partner.
Okay.
Hip pocket or back pocket?
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Back to throw now on first down. Finds Pickens out right. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Warren will try the right side. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Looking to throw. Howard. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. New York set to take the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Alex Highsmith making the nice play and getting the sack.
Even the most elusive quarterbacks have those tough days where they can't avoid sacks, and this is one of them. 3rd time he's gone down. He might develop some happy feet now, want to escape the pocket and try and gain more yardage with his legs.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
2nd and 5. This is caught. Touchdown. George Pickens from 8 yards out. And the Steelers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's Wilson. He finds Robinson. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
To throw again is Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and run for it. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
That one taken in by Neighbors. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now a 2nd and 2. Throwing is Wilson. That's caught left side by Neighbors. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Wilson will throw again. Touchdown, Giants. Malik Neighbors, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Gano the extra point, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the the toe to the leather on that one. Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A yard all they need, but it's third down. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is going to have a Steeler first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.